boys and girls. It's lovely to see you. Oh, I'm Corona, and this is Vincent. Vincent, say hello to the Kiddywinkles.
Hello.
Oh, wake up, Vincent. We're here in a hoggle. We're here in a hoggle for a wee while. We're here to see out the coronavirus. Oh, what a to-do. Here we are in our isolation, staying with Mike and Tessa Arnold. Oh, they've been so kind. They invited us to come and stay for the great isolation in the wonderful city of a hoggle. Oh, well, we're having such a time of it. Mike is, very dull, I think. And Tessa's, quite a good cook.
Why?
So, just call us Auntie Corona and Uncle Vincent. It's very nice to meet you. We've never been on the telly box before. Vincent! Vincent, have we ever been in the telly box before?
Oh, no.
No, we've never been in the telly box before. The whole world's gone mad. We're viral. Oh, gracious, we're online all the time. And as we're sitting here just by the fire, thinking about the past, because that's a lovely thing to do. When you're bored and you don't know what to do, Vincent and I, we just love to chat over the past. And I said to Vincent, Vincent, I had to shake him. Vincent, do you remember the day we got married?
Oh, aye.
Oh, it was a wonderful day, the day we got married. The birds were singing in the trees. The sky was blue and we were in love. Vincent, weren't we in love? Vincent, do you mind? We were in love. We were in love. And Vincent, was gorgeous back then. Oh, you wouldn't know from the look of him now. But back then, he was a real Bobby Dazzler. And as for me, well, I suppose you could imagine I was gorgeous too. But then, I even like to look after myself, even in the great isolation. Wee bit of lippy makes such a difference when you're cooped up in the house. But our wedding was a beautiful day. We had such a lovely time with our family and our friends. Didn't we have a lovely time, Vincent?
Aye.
And after we got married, off we went on our honeymoon. Oh, we had such a time. We went to Scotland. You may be able to tell, I'm frae Scotland. Vincent's from here, so it's been a mixed marriage, but it's worked out quite well. And when we got married, we went to Scotland and we went to the big city there, the capital city of Scotland, called Edinburgh. Oh, Edinburgh is a lovely city. I can remember it. Vincent, do you remember Edinburgh?
No.
Didn't we have a nice time?
No.
We did. We had a lovely time. One of my highlights was, of course, going up to the castle. And in Edinburgh, it's a lovely city, but everywhere you look, there's this big rock. And on top of the big rock, there's a gorgeous castle. It's so big. We went to visit it. It was a wonderful day. Oh, it was such a lovely time. Wasn't it, Vincent? We had a lovely honeymoon. But anyway, boys and girls, we'll just leave you there. It's been lovely to get to know you, and hopefully we'll see you at some stage over the next wee while. Have a lovely time in your great isolation. Bye-bye, boys and girls. Vincent, we're saying bye-bye to the Kiddywinkles.
Aye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well and enjoying time with your families. It's been sad not to see everybody at church, but it's great to know that we can be together in lots of different ways. We've certainly been enjoying having Auntie Corona and Uncle Vincent stay with us. I hope that you enjoyed them too. We've loved hearing about their honeymoon in Edinburgh, and it reminded me of when I used to live in Edinburgh when I was studying. And I like Edinburgh. Edinburgh's a lovely city, and Auntie Corona is absolutely right. Everywhere you look in Edinburgh, you can see the big castle on that rock. And when I lived there, every time I went to lectures or went to church, I had to go right round the bottom of the big rock to get to where I was going. And very often I would look up at that rock and look up at the castle at the very top and be reminded of a verse in the Bible. Now we've been learning how to find different books in the Bible in church. This book is the Psalms, and it's really easy to find. You just go to the middle of your Bible and open. So usually that opens around the Psalms. But this verse is in Psalm 61 and it's verse 2. And I want to read it to you now. And it says, "When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I." And whenever I used to look up at the castle sitting on the rock, that was the verse that God often whispered in my ear. And it's the verse that he's whispering to me at the moment. Because I think whenever there's a lot of change, our hearts can sometimes feel overwhelmed. Now what that really means is that we can feel just very, very, very sad, or very, very, very excited, or very, very, very upset, or very, very, very worried. And our hearts can be overwhelmed. We don't know what to do with ourselves. We're feeling so one way or another. And God says, when your heart is overwhelmed, go to the rock that is higher than you. And of course he's referring to God. God is the rock that never ever changes. The Edinburgh Castle has been there for a long time, but the very first settlers were on that rock 200 years after Jesus was on earth. And of course the rock was there for long before that. And there's lots of things that change. We can be at school one day and the next day we're not at school. We can be well one day and the next day we're not well. Lots and lots of things change, and we don't expect them to change, but they do. But God is the rock that never ever changes. Nothing can happen that God doesn't know about. Nothing can happen that isn't in God's power and isn't in God's control. And that verse says, "Lead me to the rock that is higher than I." And that tells us that God is not like you and me. We see a lot of things just the way they are at the moment, that I'm in the house and I don't get to go to school and I don't see my friends. But God's view of things is so much higher than that. He knows what he's doing. We maybe don't, but he knows what he's up to, and his plans are always perfect. So I'm going to read that verse out to you one more time. Psalm 61 verse 2. "When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I." To help you remember that God is our rock, and like a great big fortress on top of that rock, I'm going to set you a challenge. You can either build a rock and a castle out of Lego, or you could draw a beautiful picture of a castle on a rock. And perhaps if your parents take a photo of it, they could upload it to Facebook and the Brookside account. Looking forward to seeing what you do. Have a good day. Bye.